Second one. Super Bowl 58, Radio Pro, Dean Blandino, Fox rules analyst, joining us again. We kind of started this relationship last year when you kind of had the viral video talking about Carl Shepherds in the Super Bowl. This year, Dean, the pressure is off. CBS will have this situation, so pressure's a little off. You can just enjoy Vegas a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be on the radio call for Westwood One.
Oh, sweet.
So yeah, we'll be on the air. Pregame starts at 2 Eastern, and then game coverage starts at 5. So looking forward to that.
With those live telecasts that you're involved in, how much pressure is it on you to try and guess what the right call might be, even though you're not a part of officiating crew?
No, that it's hard because you're trying to articulate, for the fans and everybody watching, what are they looking at? What's the rule? And then try to guess what they're going to do. And inevitably, if I say one thing and they end up doing something else, I'm an idiot, and everybody jumps on social media. And, so it's pressure. There's a lot of pressure.
Obviously, a lot of people talked about the Kadarius Toney offensive offsides. Patrick Mahomes was very upset about that. And then I think the next week we saw the Dolphins, Jalen Waddle line up, have offensive offsides, but it wasn't called. So I know they put an emphasis on that, but how do we make that more equal and where that's called and they can't see the ball down the line?
Sure. No, I think that part of that was obviously, look, if that ends up being an incomplete pass, it's not that big a deal, but we only just took back one of the greatest plays in the history of the game. But look, he was offside. But I think when you talk about that with the officials, you always want to warn early. And there were examples and opportunities earlier in that game where Toney was offside or pushing the envelope, where you just say, okay, if you warn him then and he's got that warning, or you flag it early, then he'll correct it. And if he doesn't, then it's on them. And look, that was an unfortunate situation. I think there was some buildup, from the previous game with the Packers and the Chiefs. And I think Patrick and Andy kind of, was emotional, but it all worked out in the end.
It kind of righted the ship for the Chiefs in a lot of ways. That moment sort of started the cleanse. Now they wind up losing to the Raiders on Christmas Day and giving the Raiders 14 points in 7 seconds. I'm still thinking that's a record that's not been confirmed. But what do you see this Chiefs team and just how they've grown, how they've almost addition by subtraction, as I call it. Kadarius Toney hurt, Sky Moore injured, and the team's gotten better. Addition by subtraction.
It is, and it's a testament to, I think, the coaching staff and the players, because there was whatever it was, whatever week that was, where you're saying, hey, they might not even make the playoffs, and they turned it around, righted the ship, like you said. And now are one win away from some really cementing what is now become the new dynasty, which is, it's pretty impressive.
Man, so with these officials and how they're carefully graded, like what goes into when you're rewatching film with the officials? Like, what is it? The calls missed? Is it them being super aggressive? How do you all grade which referees get to actually referee the Super Bowl?
Yeah, they're evaluated on every game, and you're looking at every play of every game. You're looking at the offensive and defensive line play. You'll start with the formation. You're looking at the formation. Do we have anybody offside, anything like that? Then the offensive and defensive line play. Then anything around the quarterback. If it's a run, you're looking at the blocks around the runner. If it's a pass, you're looking at the contact downfield. And the officials are evaluated on the calls that they make, the calls that they should have made. Those evaluations accumulate throughout the season, and then that's how the postseason assignments are given out. It's the top officials at each position are going to qualify for the postseason, and then these are the top officials in the league right now that are going to work the game on Sunday.
Yeah, a lot of people and fans are talking about how the Chiefs get all the calls. It's not fair. I think Jawan Taylor wants a word there because he's leads the league in penalties for.
He tried to break the all-time record. Let's be honest.
He did. He was close to Brandon Browner, didn't quite get there. What do you have to say to that the Chiefs get all the calls?
It's I think, and I've experienced that. Right, think about New England and what they did over a long period of time, and there was a lot of people. Well, Tom Brady gets the calls. The Patriots. The teams that are winning, typically you'll hear the other fan bases say that. These The Chiefs were kind of middle of the road in terms of penalties called and against them, against their opponents. So you look at the numbers, they don't really bear that out, but it's natural when you have a team that has been this successful that other fan bases are going to say those things.
New rule in college football this year. We have a year of data kind of on that as far as the clock not stopping on for first downs. What was your data on that, and how do you feel like that rule went over in college football?
Yeah, we think it worked. You know, the goal was to eliminate some plays from the game, because college football, you know, on average 180 plays a game. You compare that to the NFL, which is closer to like 153, 154. So, you know, when you think about every play, especially with these student athletes, every play, that's a lot of plays and snaps that they have to play. You think about expanding the CFP, more games. So you always think about the health and safety of the players. So it shaved about 5 or 6 plays off the game, and actually game time was down. Overall game time was down, which was good because some of these college games can go pretty long.
Yeah. There's been a lot of talk with a sky judge in the National Football League, with ultimately, you know, I guess a group of refs looking at the game and deciding close calls, and with the refs not being there and with the technology being where it is and where it's going, do you foresee the NFL taking on that and ultimately maybe not getting rid of the refs on the field, but having that sky judge to make those close calls?
Yeah, I think they're moving in that direction. I think they've added like a replay assist where the person upstairs can help out in situations and give them information. I don't know. I think you have to limit it. I don't think anybody wants to watch a game where we're just re-officiating every play from the booth. But I think we've got the technology. I think we need to use it and help the officials, because the game is so fast. They're officiating one look at it, full speed. And if there's an opportunity to make a correction with technology, I think the league has to continue to look at that.
Dean, last thing, we'll get you out of here. The Super Bowl last year heavily swayed towards the Chiefs on a call towards the end of the game, a holding penalty on James Bradbury against Juju Smith-Schuster. Does this Super Bowl end on a call like that, or are we going to get
I hope clean? Not. I mean, I hope not. You never want the game the question to be about officiating, or the officiating to be the story in any game, especially the Super Bowl. I think these teams understand what's at stake, and I think we've seen it through the postseason where the penalties are down, and I think we'll have a good, hopefully we'll have a good clean game, and you guys aren't, trying to talk to me on Monday.
Check your Twitter DMs about Sunday night at about 9:30.
I'll know not to check them if something happens.
Oh, Dean, thanks so much. Enjoy the festivities this weekend. Pace yourself. It is Vegas. We're just trying to make it through this thing alive. There's not much water around here.
Yeah, I know. I see that.
Absolute honor. Thank you,
Dean.
Dean.
Thanks, guys.
Always a pleasure.